folks. Welcome back to the second episode of the Roswell UFO Symposium. I am joined by co-host Shane and Toby. Shane is actually at UFO Congress right now. So what's going on, Shane?
No way. It's froze, yo.
You're frozen? Come on, bro. Are you frozen for real? All right. Well, I guess we'll move on to Toby. This whole thing was predicated around like Shane. Are you there, Shane? Shane's having some sort of issues on many different levels tonight, but he is at UFO Congress having the time of his life, meeting all of the heroes. So, if you haven't seen any of the threads, go on to any one of our Twitter profiles. Old Vet Symposium, RDR Incident. Let's see if we can get him back in here. Dude, what is going on?
Dude, the internet here sucks, dude.
Oh my god. You're like
You
all
guys
like
froze?
you're all like
Was it me?
squished too. You're like squished
All right.
down.
The internet here sucks.
No.
Detective,
Little
you're
Shane,
blowing my
little
mind.
Shane.
I think
Wait.
it's
So wait,
human error.
are you sure? So it is. It's not just me that I look like that, right?
Jesus, bro. You
Let me leave
do.
and come back again. Let me
All
leave and
right.
come back
Try
again.
it. Tried to do it.
I tried it one more time, man.
All right.
Dude, I told you everything that could go wrong this weekend has gone wrong, bro.
Well, leave and come back so we can get it right. Jeez. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't know what's going on here, but
I think you do.
I do know what's going on. Shane has immersed himself in a glutton of edibles. So, but who hasn't, right? If you haven't, check out the threads. Check out Shane Old Vet Symposium on Twitter. Check out RDR Incident or Mike Escape for everything that Shane's been doing at UFO Congress. Let's see if we can get him in here now. Okay. All right, Shane.
What's it look like now?
You
Is
look
it good?
Yeah, you're normal now. Okay.
Good. I
So
thought it was just me.
it definitely is you. But so how is it going? How's the Congress going? And number two, explain to us, what it's like for somebody that's never been to one of these events like this.
Oh, well, it's off the chain. Let me just say that to start with. So one of the coolest things about going to these events is meeting people. You get to talk to other individuals that you have had experiences. Oh, one of the coolest things is like they have little experiencer groups. Did you know that, like they do in spaces, they actually people in real life meet and they were real people. Real people exist. And it was just nuts. I was like, it's been a minute since I've been around people and actually, that talk
So
about
you're
this.
saying that everybody in
So
the
that's one of the
spaces
really cool ones.
are not bots. They are actual people that you can meet at these events. Is this what you're saying, Shane?
Oh, yes, it's amazing. The community
Okay.
is amazing too. Everybody. Some of the people meet online, all this that you interact. Don't get me wrong, there's all kinds of people in here. And that's the coolest part is like, I guess if you go to the experiencer groups, sometimes the stories they line up and you're just hair stands up in the back of your neck from different experiences. So I know the experiencer groups, the panels are really good too. But here's something that's really cool. If you do this YouTube stuff or whatever we're doing here, podcasting, or if you do spaces a lot, if you invest any amount of time in research on this topic, you're way ahead of the game. Most people don't do that. So it's kind of cool to sit and have conversations like Dr. Masters, uh, who else I talked to, right? And James Fox, just over in weird coincidences, just like they sat down, we'd have coffee, and so I was sitting with Chrissy and Micah, and or no, at first I was sitting outside and just sitting there, and Chrissy came up, we started talking, and then I was just telling Chrissy, I said, "Oh, I couldn't even walk when I first got here. Right, anxiety was crazy." And so then I may have mentioned to her that I'd just taken an edible. And she looked at me and she started laughing. She goes, "It's good. I'm a cannabis girl." She goes, "I believe in the healing power." I said, "No, 100%. I got you." So we just started bullshitting and talking, and then Micah comes down and he's over. So and I mentioned them about that event, Toby, by the way. And we were talking. Then James Fox uh, comes down. And I'm like, "What the heck is going on?" And he sits down, plops down in front of us, and he starts telling us because I watched his movie, which was Moment of Contact. I liked it. I enjoyed it. But he started telling us about some stuff that couldn't put in it, and some stuff on the, and I was just like, "What?" He's like, "You can only tell close friends, so you can." Oh shit!
Yeah, I want to see that. I know when I had read Panda on Mindscape the other night, he was saying he's going to the premiere in L.A. When do you know when that is? When that comes out?
That's what is it? 17th?
And then
Hold on,
also,
I
can you
gotta
download
I
it
gotta
too, or
let
like?
I gotta let Jared in, dude.
Okay.
I know it is going to be, he's going to be in Roswell for the UFO Expo that we're going to be at. That's March 10th through the 12th of next year. They're going to do a screening of it and a Q&A. But as far
Okay.
as the actual release date, I'm not sure.
We've got a real wild card in here tonight, folks. Shane is in rare form. But yeah, I mean, I definitely want to check that documentary out. Isn't there like a bunch of like footage too of this thing that happened? I mean, I don't know a ton about that case. Do you know anything about that case, Toby?
I think the documentary has a lot of eyewitness testimony. If you follow James online, you've probably seen he mentioned they have some
Yeah.
footage that shows something more intriguing than that, but it's not actually going to be in the documentary.
Hmm.
Back, Shane?
I'm sorry, guys. Hey, listen. All right, Jared needs to come in. We had so much trouble getting some of this shit to work. He's been helping me. Jared Jedi Camper on Twitter been helping me a lot. So it's
Yeah.
just stressful as shit. Because remember, okay, I was stressing myself out for one because I just got all this equipment before I got here. I'm like, holy shit, I'm trying to learn it, do all this stuff, and my leg was killing me. Then I was like, you know what? It's a vacation too. I'm just bullshitting with people. Once I just started bullshitting with people, then it was a little easier. And with the
Hmm.
help of some edibles. Oh, Jared, I ate the rest of your edibles, bro.
Dude, this guy's bogarting all the edibles. So no, that's fine. We want you to enjoy yourselves, obviously. The one thing I'll say though is, I think people underestimate how hard it is to run a live show, podcast, whatever you're doing, content. It's not as simple as like, oh, we're live, and then you just jump right into it. I mean, I've been doing Mind Escape for like 5 years, and the first year was like just figuring everything out. So but yeah, going live, and especially from like remote location, like where you are, Shane, and all that. Yeah, it's a lot of work, and a lot of this is predicated on Wi-Fi and then being able to connect through the Ethernet too. So yeah, and not to mention all the making sure like the camera and the audio synced and sounds good. It's like a whole other ball game. So
What's super cool though is a lot of these guys were talking about all the cases that we discussed. They were sharing, they were giving their opinions on them, like Roswell, things like that. So it's just important to say that there's quite a few people in this community. Everyone that I talk to is up on the game on this stuff. So we're on the. We just got to keep talking about it. Keep doing things like this. It may not seem like much, just having conversations, and it's okay to have fun too. This is literally our shit, right? So
is
just because someone made.
are those
Go ahead,
experiencer
dude.
groups? Is there like specific? Is there ones for like abductees, or like is there different ones, or like how does that work?
No, there's just one. They have it several times. I think tomorrow they have more workshops and stuff, which is gonna be cool. So um, a lot of the speakers, they're all this whole community is actually pretty amazing, right? Obviously, it's like anywhere. There's people that you may not be there for the same reasons or anything, but as a whole, yeah, I can't begin to express how cool. Like, well, when I got here, one of the things that was really cool was because I met Chrissy and Micah beforehand. Uh, and I talked to him, just bullshit with him. And they're just cool as fuck, right? Can I say that here? I don't know. I guess I can. I didn't.
You just did.
I suppose
You can
so.
swear on Twitter and YouTube, even though we're not on YouTube right now. But as long
All
as
right, cool.
it's not like a first thing in the video, you're fine.
So, one second.
I can't tell if he's
Somebody
frozen or
just
if that's
texted
a
Jenny.
meltdown or
So
Mental
anyway,
freeze.
we were sitting there. Did we freeze?
brain freeze.
Your brain
No.
froze.
No way.
All right, bro. Go ahead. Sorry.
How many fingers am I holding up? And he's gone.
And he's gone, dude. This is quite. I want to see how far we can take this now. I mean, this is crazy. I don't know if it's a connection thing on his end or if this is human, human error. I don't know.
I want to say I feel like maybe it's a combination of both because I know he was telling me the Wi-Fi at the hotel is really bad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you saw him streaming to Twitter earlier, he's like, "Okay,
Oh,
that's it, I'm done." Then
I saw it was in 1K.
Hey,
All right.
this internet shit. Anytime someone tries to text or anything with me, it disconnects. I'm like, oh my god.
You can go to focus on your iPhone, and then you can make it turn it to do not disturb.
I'm gonna start texting him.
Go to focus. Go to your screen, your overlay screen.
I did it.
Okay.
I did it. Good. I play it cool, guys. No one will notice. But anyway,
right.
one of the things I was going to talk about was, so all these different speakers are talking about things that we talk about in here, and I'm just so impressed by the amount of knowledge that I've gained from you guys, people in space. I'm pretty impressed by all that shit. So we need to have people like Daniel Allen Jones on, Leah Prime. These are people who are super smart, because I've heard some stuff here, and I'm just like, wow, I heard that, but it didn't sound quite as I don't know. I just tell you that people we know are smart.
You don't have to convince me, bro. I love Daniel and Leah. I've had them both on Mind Escape, and they both are regularly contributing things that it's like, yeah, I agree with that. That's a good take. So
I can't stop laughing
joke,
about the
Shane?
disconnection.
I was say, what is this guy laughing at?
You want to hear a joke, Shane?
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
That's the joke.
You're an asshole. So check this out. So one of the things that's kind of cool, like this experience here, I'm going to give a shout out to UFO Congress, International UFO Congress, since I'm going to talk about it, and Alejandro and Karen, Barb. I'm telling you right now, this is so cool because the whole thing's in this hotel, so that you can have dinner here, you can go chill at the bar, right down from the conference, right? So it's just back and forth. So one of the coolest parts is you get to just interact regardless. Like you'll walk downstairs to have eggs, and there's somebody, or you'll be on the elevator going down in your costume, and in walks Bryce Zabel in a mask, and you're like, "Hey, what's up, Bryce?" You go to the costume ball. Of course, he's going to the costume ball. What else was he doing? That shit was crazy. You sit there talking to all these people, and then we talked UFOs. That's the coolest part. So we just kept talking UFOs. Everywhere I sat, it was what we do here and what we do in spaces. So we'd be sitting by the bar and have nachos all the time because I'm fat. And I just kept eating nachos, and I couldn't stop. It was just my thing. So I'd sit and we would talk about UFOs, and I'd eat nachos. And I guess everybody's making fun of me as well because apparently I change clothes more than anybody. And Jenny and all, they were laughing because I go through 5 outfits. It's hot as hell here. I'm not used to this heat, so I'm sweating. Changing out that, and I got to put podcast shirts on, and in veteran suicide. I guess I'm a walking billboard at times here. So I kind of am, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think we're gonna have to change the picture, the Photoshop picture of Chase on Toby's shoulder, and I think we really need to get you on Toby's shoulder because I think that's the real that's the real little angel on his shoulder. Shane.
We need to put Chase on Laser Dog.
Yeah, that's actually good. We need to get Eric on that stat. If anybody doesn't know, shout out to Eric. He's our Photoshop guy. He's amazing. In fact, he
Dude,
made me look like He-Man tonight. I couldn't believe it. He did a great
He did
job.
something
Jenny,
else
hold
too,
on.
but we won't bring
I'll
that up.
forget. Hey,
Mike's discs.
I'll forget this. So let me do a shout out right now for Chris, Awake While Sleeping off UFO Twitter, and Jenny and Jared, all these guys who were here helping me, Jordan Flowers, because they're this connection issue. It's just crap. So they were here helping. Plus, just hanging out with them was so cool. Just bullshitting, sitting by the pool. That's kind of cool. Talking UFOs and stuff like that. Different your favorite topics in person. I used to just gripe about this all the time, trying to find people to do this with. They're here. They're all good people. We were just all kind of trying to take it all in, just because like Jared's first experience when he first got here. He walks in the door and he sits down on the couch real quick, and James Fox walks by and just says, "Hey," and they start talking. He's like, "Oh my Lord, what just happened?" I said, "Yeah, it's cool, huh?" And you'll just sit and talk UFOs with people, the same people you read and watch. That's what's cool. So it's nothing about hero worship or none of that. But if you interact with these people as well, you'll find that you're not far behind in research, which is super cool. Just being able to talk to these guys on their level is awesome.
Yeah, Karen and Alejandro put on a really great show down there, and anybody that hasn't been able to make it, I recommend next year trying to get down there because they always have the best guests, the best movie premieres. Like Shane said, there's the experiencer meetups, there's cocktail mixers, there's dinners, there's a costume party, which Shane didn't wear the costume Twitter voted on, but that's okay.
Hey,
What
I
did they
actually
vote on?
wasn't
A
going to go there.
horse or a minotaur?
Among Us.
No, I thought who won? I thought Jenny won. I think Jenny won. Jenny's
We're talking
costume
about
was
something
amazing.
completely different, bro. You're on a whole different planet right
Wait,
now,
what,
dog.
I thought we were talking about the costume contest here. Is that what you're talking about?
No, we were talking about how you were supposed to wear an Among Us costume.
Oh no, I did. You
The
said costume. I wore
fungus
my costume.
among us.
I I went to the costume ball. Jenny talked me into it, so I did. And then no one showed up. It was just me. I was like, "What the hell?" So I came back up, and she finally went down, and she was amazing looking, dude. She won that contest down here.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah. So
Congratulations, Jenny. Um, you know, so is there anybody that you talk to that, I mean, I'm sure everybody's impressive, but is there anybody that you talk to, you're like, wow, that person blew my mind in person?
they all do a little bit because they see
Yeah,
that's
that's
what's
what I'm
cool
saying.
about
I'm not
here,
trying to, but is there somebody that you met where you had like a connection with or something that you're like, wow, that was awesome?
dude. Pretty much everybody. I mean, as you talking about the speakers and stuff.
Yeah, that's who I'm
Okay, just
talking.
trying to make sure. I didn't know if you're talking about like if you're talking about Jared or any of these guys down here that I
No,
met,
you
like
know
Jordan. All
Jared. I'm talking about somebody like you met, like when the heroes or the speakers or
I well, Micah, dude, because he could sit, dude. Literally, what we do in these spaces, he would be a master of a space, just talking about topics. He knows all. And Chrissy as well, both of them. You could sit and have a beer or nachos and just sit and talk UFO stories. So I was so impressed. I was like,
I think he
Bigfoot,
narrates books. I think I've just listened to a couple
dude.
audiobooks where that he narrated.
Dr. Masters as well, though. I had dinner with him the first night, and we were just talking. He's so cool, man. He's so absolutely cool, so relatable. And then we're just bullshitting. One of the most enjoyable conversations. Just, and it wasn't even necessarily about UFOs. I think I was talking about my experience actually, and he was just listening. And then we were talking, and uh, what was it? I can't remember what it was about, Wounded Warrior or something like that. And he was totally. He had read about, he had seen it on Twitter about it. So when he kind of talked about it, like he had seen it, I was like, oh, that's cool as shit. Dr. Masters saw that shit. Kind of a little. It's just cool as hell. He kind of knew about that ahead of time, and because having dinner with him my first night, I was like, this is awesome. So Micah and him and Chrissy were the best conversations because it was just straight conversations. I didn't feel tense, anything like that. And that's when I was like, guys, we got to do this again. We need to record it because I get more relaxed as we're doing this. But damn, these conversations were literally like what we're doing here now. So I
Yeah.
was like, this is cool, just
So
talking
who's
UFO.
Whose presentation did you feel like had perhaps the newest information in it or something maybe you've never heard before?
Probably, dude. Micah's is good. See, it's here's how I like it. Micah's is bringing a lot at you in a little amount of time though too, and he can present like nobody else. I'm telling you what, this guy commands a room and he knows his shit. So I'm just like, this is straight up knows his shit. So as we're talking UFOs, his was excellent there, but I really liked Brian Benders, John Ramirez. See, it's hard because you take a little bit from each one. So a couple of them, like Chris had went to, and a couple of them I ended up missing out on. So I went to the experiencer ones a couple times, dude. What are you laughing at, Mike? You're making me laugh, dude.
I'm not laughing at anything, man. Just keep talking.
Anyway, we went to these different experiencer groups and they were throughout the day. Uh, Ramirez was cool. So check this out. This is the coolest part. Like, not the speaking's cool because it's usually things like stuff that they talk about in their books that you've seen on their numerous YouTube podcasts. You got to remember, as people who are in this and watch it, right? You end up seeing all this stuff repeatedly. So there's some new stuff in it, but the new stuff comes from just interacting, just talking to them. So we were just in an experiencer session, and and I'm not going to repeat stuff like that. You learn new things all the time, and you just kind of that's where the stuff comes from here at these places. But if you do, if let's face it, if you watch enough of this stuff like we do, like the podcast, and we support each other, which we do that. So you see them talk about these things. So it's not a matter of it's going to be new stuff to you, probably not. But when you talk to them in person and stuff, they do. They always tell you new things, and you find out new stuff about them. That's the coolest part. Like James Fox, when he come downstairs, was talking about some of the things he had to leave out of it, just right there in person. And I was just like, oh, this is awesome, and I was just chilling right there. So that's what's the best experience here, I guess for me, because I think most people come to these because you get to interact with these people, and when you do, it's just a different level. So I think I take from all of them too. I miss some of them though. Man, I'm crippled as heck. So I miss some of them just from not walking all the way down there and back because I'm lazy, pretty much.
Um, yeah, no, it's weird because I think 2-3 months ago when I had Dan Freeman on the podcast, he was trying to get me to go to UFO Congress. I'm like, I've never even heard of this because me, I'm just kind of new to like the whole, speaker type stuff with the UFO stuff. Obviously, I've been into it for a while, read all the books and everything like that. But like in terms of events and speakers and things like that, I don't really know a lot of what's out there yet. So when I heard about it, I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool or whatever. And then you're like, I'm going to this thing, and I look at it, I'm like, yeah, that actually looks pretty dope. And then, you taking all these pictures with all these people and being that close, and being able to just interact with people on that kind of level is awesome. So
So just an example. I mean, the situations you get in is the best part. Just sitting there and having coffee with one, and they sit down and you have coffee with another. Especially coming, and I'm so grateful. So again, let me thank the Roswell Daily Record for this doing what they did, sponsoring us to do this because I owe them. I'm doing this for the podcast, uh, the UFO Symposium. So the UFO Congress, International UFO Congress, thank them. This shit was so amazing because the access I had alone. I mean, for the podcast and for the questions we want and the people we like to talk about, that's what this was about. So it's kind of cool to just sit there and pick their brain. Micah was so cool because if you have any problems, I got you. I'll help you. And I'm just like, these guys are amazing. Made me feel at home. And because I was here for kind of a different reason, and I'm just kind of chilling. It's my vacation too. So I was the only one in the pool all the time. Can't get that figured out, but whatever. Like I'd be out there all the time. Today was really bad though. It was raining and lightning, so I had to miss it.
Yeah, somebody
Shane's on edibles, just sitting in the pool during a thunderstorm. Everyone's like, he's like, how come there's nobody else in here?
that's
No
when you
doubt.
figured out it wasn't actually raining.
Uh, Dude, it's been an amazing time. Hey, look, get off my back about the edibles, boys. I'm telling you right now, it was unnecessary. It's medicinal purposes. So check this out, though. Hey, If you're watching this, though, do me
Oh, I
one
believe you.
favor.
This is the least fidgety I've ever seen you on any of the podcasts we've done. So
I'm so relaxed. That's why I was relaxed the other night on the podcast I did the other night too. Because again, once they wear off, it's good. Although these aren't wearing off. I just took these a little bit ago, so we're about to go for a ride. But anyway, I, I will say that I've been more relaxed, more chill. I can walk. Man, that's the worst part. I feel like I'm 95, so I get paranoid about the way I walk too. It sucks, the pain. If you guys saw, you could probably ask anybody. The way I walk looks painful, just because it is. I gotta have there's bone on bone. It's almost bone on bone. So people can bitch all they want. That edible was needed. It was medicinal purposes, and this shit's been amazing, even
you
without the
said
edibles. Because
international UFO. Is there? Do they do another one of those in like a different country or something?
I, I hope I didn't mess that shit up. That would suck, huh? No, there's two. Yeah, there's two. If you go look at their Twitter, I think they're both the same thing.
No, I was just
I've
curious
been
if there was
tweeting that.
another one. If there's the UF like where you're at, and then if there's like a one that's like for all the different people from all over the world or something.
I think it might be called international because they bring in speakers from all over the world and
Oh,
people
okay.
come here from all over the world. It's the biggest UFO convention that there is.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it was like the nicest from what I've seen, the classiest,
Hey,
I
hey,
tell you,
hey.
it
except for
whoa.
UFO Expo.
I'm telling you what, it's amazing, and it's really been nice down here. So the weather's super good. Again, I've been out in the pool. I just hang out there by myself in the pool, trying to find the hot tub, but I think they had it turned off a little bit because it was too hot down here. But you can walk and eat down here. You can order out whatever. They have these little scooters. That's where I met Jordan. We talked and I think text back and forth, and we met up and rode a little scooter to Chick-fil-A and had lunch and had conversation. It was cool. I didn't bite the dust, which I was expecting. I thought I'd get arrested, which I didn't, so we're good. You know, those little e-scooters are amazing. They're expensive as heck, though. $20 each way. I must have done something wrong. Something. It was like $40. I was like, dude, I could have
What are you
had the
inserting
place brought to
edibles
me.
into the slot? What's going on over there?
Yeah, no doubt. Did you know
Um,
who else was good though? Listen,
yeah. Who?
hold on. They had some experiencer panelists too that were really good. Lucinda, I already mentioned. I think was it Gwen? I gotta look her up what the name is. But they had some really good talks about their experiences. Those are cool to have at panels as well. Like whenever you have these conferences, I like to hear more of that. Right? There's not a whole lot of that. They need more experience. People that tell stories like my story or one of these stories right there. Those were cool. So more people get to hear it in that kind of fashion, because there are people that are willing to share it, and it's cool to hear other people share theirs and stuff like that. And then I talked to her, Lucinda, down here while we're eating stuff, and just cool people, just like us. So
Maybe for UFO Expo we can set up like an experience or meetup outside the actual event.
that'd be cool. There's lots of us. There's lots of cool people here. I tell you what, they're the funnest people. That's why once we get together, you know what? I don't care how tall you guys are and how short I am. I'm the shortest person here. I'm a munchkin. That doesn't bother me. Does not bother me.
Dude, I'll put you on my shoulders, bro. It's okay. We'll walk around. It'll be a good time.
Oh.
People will be like, "Is that your
Hey, do
son?"
me a favor.
No, it's my
No,
grandpa.
do me a favor. So I'm going to go ahead and say this though. In veteran suicide, well, I remember, and if you can, do me a favor. Support Wounded Warrior. They mean a lot to me. Actually, I just got back from a trip. Jet lag was kicking my ass from coming from Boston to there to here. But I'll do anything for this, for the UAP.
Yeah,
So
I'll put the link down below. Please support Wounded Warrior. Um, and Shane's been a huge advocate for that, as well as if you're an experiencer or you've got some mental health stuff, he hosts these spaces dedicated to that. So come check that out on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter and you follow our podcast, or you're just looking to chat with like-minded people, come to the Twitter spaces, come chat with us. So
hey, do I look like I'm in like a prison mugshot or some shit right here?
no,
It's pretty bad,
but
huh?
be
Does it look
careful
good?
with the rest of the night, because you might actually be in one of those.
Dude, we couldn't get any of this stuff to work properly. This sucked. But I'm thankful for all their help and stuff too. and I'm very thankful for the edibles.
Hey man, it's a like I said, doing a live show. That's why I gave that little spiel. It's a whole thing. I don't think people realize how hard it is to run a live show, have it look good, sound good, good content. This is our second podcast. It's gonna take a little bit to get this machine rolling here, but I mean, I've done it before. We'll do it together again. You guys are huge in terms of what you bring to the table, so it'll be fun to kind of pool all of our resources and ideas and people we know together and continue doing this podcast. So
And don't say you bring edibles to the table, Shane.
I have no idea what I'm doing, so we're good.
no, you just be yourself, man. You're the
Hey,
you're our little munchkin on the streets, so just be that
hey,
munchkin.
I'm not that small though, and you know what? I guess I am pretty short for these places, like talking to different people.
No, you're not. What are
But
you,
it didn't matter.
5'9"? That's not that short.
I'm 5'8".
Yeah, that's not that short.
Dude,
I mean,
man, I just
how
can't
tall's
ramble
Danny
here. What's going
DeVito?
on?
Because he's a
Stop
munchkin.
it, dude.
No, I'm
I'm
being
pretty.
serious. How tall is Danny? Because he's a little he's probably the shortest actor I can think of. But anyways, no, I mean, dude, you're jacked. I mean, I wish I was. I'm 6'2", but I wish I was as jacked as you, bro. So you got that going.
I think my alien overlord avatars. They're good, man.
There you go.
Does that me with a muscle gun or some shit?
Yeah, there you go. You got the muscle
Hey,
genes.
have you looked at the speakers that were here?
Yeah, yeah, and I saw a lot of the
So,
posts too.
who's your favorite speakers? So, who's your favorite speakers here?
Well, I got to go with my guy that you already said, Dr. Michael Masters. I mean, he honestly, I mean, he's in. I mean, I'm kind of partial because he's in our documentary. I've had him on the podcast, Mind Escape, a few times. Super nice guy, into the same kind of music as me and stuff, and we just really hit it off. So I got to go with Michael Masters. On top of, I like the work that he does, and he comes from a biological anthropology background, which I think is important when you're looking at this topic too, because he's already got the scope of like human history, and I'm able to talk about like Göbekli Tepe and ancient civilizations and stuff like that, as well as like hominid stuff as well. Like he's got a good base of knowledge on the topic. So I'd probably go with him. But I mean, everybody looked like a great, that James Fox, like I said, the James Fox documentary, and he looked like a really nice guy having beers and drinks with everybody. So that looked kind of cool.
It was. I think my favorite. That's having a meal with them too, and getting to ask anything you want was cool, and then them ask you questions about yourself is kind of super cool too. And Dr. Masters said he would do some spaces with us, and he was super interested in that aspect, right? And then definitely on here because he likes to have these conversations. He learns a lot too, and he said the same thing because a lot of times from these different fields, they get to learn stuff about the topic. People who have been in the topic and researched the topic know quite a bit. They don't give themselves credit. And being here, you see that, yeah, you're around smart people when you're on UFO Twitter. No matter what kind of shit show it is, we get it. It's a shit show. That's why I didn't mind just live streaming on Twitter because if it failed, it was just Twitter, man. Right?
Yeah, I
I
mean, it looked like you were like being interviewed in like one of those things where they're trying to like blur you out, like some sort of witness protection. Yeah, the aliens got me.
I thought he was
I'm
on
telling
Patrol
you,
Live.
I was letting it stress me out and stuff. I was like, nah, dude, with the edibles. And then I ate too many of them, so now I'm gonna. He's out here somewhere. He was gonna come on too, but I was like, dude, I can't get the microphones and stuff work. And if you're in here, it's loud. So I'm like, I don't think I can get it to work. So I had to bail, bro.
I got.
Wait, I want to tell you a story. I got to tell
Go
you a
ahead.
story. Uh, so this is a true story.
He goes, "This is a true story." He freezes.
Sounds true to me.
Look at his face, how it froze too. Oh man, this is a disaster, but I love it. I'm here for it.
Like, what are we even doing?
I'm here for it. Um,
My favorite speaker at the conference, just because I play favorites, was Ben Hansen.
Okay.
Until James Fox returns my emails, I can't list him up there.
Dude, what is up? What's going on?
Dude, you should have seen your face the way it froze too. It was pretty hilarious.
Oh, oh. So anyway,
So you
all
missed
right, I gotta get my composure.
Toby, just he just told us who his favorite was, and what did you
Who
say?
was
You
it?
said Ben Hansen.
It wasn't Magic Mike, I'll
Dude,
tell
he's
you that
cool.
much.
He was cool too. He's super tall though. Gave me a complex, guys. So when I came down here, I was very aware of all these tall people, and I was just trying to stay as far away from them as I could.
Well, what's funny is when he was here for our event, the Roswell incident, we needed to get into the UFO museum so he could say bye to like Lou Elizondo and everybody. They're charging at the door, but Karen, who runs International UFO Congress, she actually grabbed me, my wife, and Ben and said, "Hey, these are speakers," and just marched us right past the security guard. So we were back there. That was pretty cool. You think you're short? No, I probably shouldn't say who I think shorter than you.
Ooh.
Hey, so check this out. I'd be outside sitting, and Alejandro and Karen are the coolest people ever. I'd be seeing somebody walking a baby carriage. And I'm like, what's going on? Is somebody pushing a baby into the bar? And I think it was Alejandro. It was a dog. He had a dog in his baby carriage. He was pushing it. I was like, what's going on?
Dude,
We were all,
that's a big
we were
thing,
laughing
bro.
our ass off.
I never
We were
saw
laughing
that.
our ass off.
We went to Florida with my family, and I went to
The
Florida.
cutest dog ever. Wait. The cutest dog ever.
What
It
kind of
stopped, and
dog?
I was like, is that a dog? I was like, why are you asking me now? I don't remember. A
Oh, yeah,
spaniel,
that was a
maybe?
stupid
Some kind of a
question.
spaniel. Yeah, you're asking
That
me
was a
right now.
very
It's not a
stupid
good
question of
idea.
me to ask. No, but the dog in the stroller thing is actually, when we went to Florida last year, I saw like 5 people bring dogs and strollers into like restaurants, and
It's cool.
yeah, it's like a common thing now. I didn't even know about it.
What I didn't know either. But so it was just funny because it was going towards the bar. I was like, "Hey, what's going on there?" And then I looked and I see the dog. I was like, "Oh, I see what it is." And I've seen them twice since. But I tell you what, they're the coolest people. This shit's been awesome. I'm telling you, they put this. This is probably one of the best things I've been to as far as the community. It's like a so you get to hear people speak, but it's more almost like a community thing, right? It's almost like a camp out for weirdos, good weirdos. Well, there's probably some bad weirdos too, but we don't want to go there. Uh, it's just amazing. Just sitting, talking, walking. You go downstairs to have an egg, like I said earlier, and there's people there you could talk to or whatever, or coffees in the morning, stuff like that. So it's a pretty cool event, especially if you're into this type of stuff.
Is that all they serve is eggs? Because that's what you keep bringing up.
Dude,
That's
you
all I
have said
ate.
eggs like 7 times. I feel like, how many eggs is this guy
Eggs.
eating over?
So every day, that's when I wake up. The lady will tell you when I get up. I get up and I get like 4 eggs, no bacon. I don't want any bacon. And then the rest of the day eat nachos. I just hooked on those nachos.
That's why he didn't bring anybody to his room to interview.
It smells like
Yeah.
sulfur from all the eggs.
What's wrong with you guys?
Uh,
You guys are horrible, dude.
we're horrible.
I'm barely keeping my composure now. Stop for those jokes.
um, no, I mean, that sounds awesome. The other thing I was thinking of, how come there's not like a UFO Burning Man? That would be kind of a cool event. Some sort of like,
I think it's
Dude, there's a
called
lot of. Just
Contact in the
listen.
Desert.
Let
is
me say
that,
this.
like I said, I don't know a lot about these events. I know our boy Daniel is like the event master. He knows, you can ask him anything about any event. If you ever have any questions, Daniel Allen Jones with events. This dude has been to every UFO, Sasquatch, cryptid, ghosts. He knows them all. In fact,
All right.
he even acquired a hitchhiker for Chase a couple weeks ago. So shout out to Chase.
Did you word that right? He acquired a hitchhiker for Chase?
I think so. I think Daniel sent me a text message and said, "Watch this. I'm going to give Chase a demon." And I said,
Oh, okay. The demon's name was Toby, by the way.
I didn't know that until today. I'm like, why do they keep talking about Toby in such a negative light? And Chase is like, "Oh no, that's my demon." So Okay. But yeah, enough about Chase's demon, Toby.
Why you guys always picking on this demon, man? So Chase, you're good, bro. I love you. Hey, real quick, let me do this. I want to shout out like Astral. I'm telling
Shout
you
out to
that music's
Astral.
bomb, bro. Dude, the stuff you know about RV and precog, people talk about these things here, and I promise you, they don't know what you know and what you teach. So keep going to his spaces. My veteran friends, Kai, all these guys that I hang out in spaces with. It's important that we keep doing what we're doing because we're on the right track. Yes, it's virtual, but I promise you, we're giving resources and things like that to these spaces and in these rooms right here. So do me a favor, go and buy merch. I'm telling you, we got some cool shirts and stuff in the store. We're gonna have the link down here in the thread. But if you do that, support our sponsor. That's Roswell Daily Record. They've been cool to us. This stuff's been amazing. This just getting the whole experience, right? It's been fun. It's a vacation slash hobby slash work. I'm not getting paid. I paid and I got help from some other people. The community UFO Twitter helped give me camera that I couldn't figure out, but we'll talk about that shit later. So I'm just happy to be here. Just do me a favor, take a chance, do it, buy that merch. It's actually some pretty sick shit. The white shirt's my favorite.
Have you been wearing it?
Yeah, I wear it. Wear it till it stinks, and now you do it.
Yeah, so if you're interested, you can just click on our bio, and the link tree's right there. All of our links are in there. We are working on getting the YouTube channel going with live, so that should be up somewhat soon. But yeah, just subscribe to all of our stuff, please. We're just getting this thing going, but I think we've got a bunch of great guests coming up, and yeah, go ahead, Shane.
Hey, if you guys want some Wounded Warrior merch, you go to their website too, because like I said, I'm cool with them. They saved my life. I owe them a lot. So I actually yell about them everywhere I go. I kind of am a walking billboard because I'm constantly talking about that shit, trying to promote Wounded Warrior Project. I talked about that with Dr. Masters, everybody. Mental health, that's what I do.
I
I do
brought
in
it up
person
to
too, apparently.
even Rick Strassman, and he's like, yeah, I've talked with veterans, and he knew about Wounded Warrior, and what's the other one? The
Heroic hearts.
Heroic Hearts,
Heroic
yeah.
hearts.
So yeah, I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of interesting stuff going on to help veterans out there. And again, follow Shane on Twitter at Old Vet Symposium, and this is what he talks about. Healing vets, healing people, bringing experiencers together, that whole thing. And we're here to support Shane through that. So
I did that today, actually. I just realized that all throughout this, I've kind of been doing that from the first night, just doing what I do at the table with dinner. I was telling Dr. Masters all of them my story, everything. And they were just kind of like, just about all of it. And then in the experiencer groups, I shared things here and there. And so it was kind of just cool to do it in person as well. So I told them, I said, this is what I do. I speak to it. And I also told them, when I get a chance, like my doctors try to tell them, hey, this is real. You don't believe me? Here's some people you should take, that aren't me, that are doctors, scientists, and things that take this seriously, because there are people who are being prescribed medication, who are being locked up, and they've seen something, right? I'm an experiencer. I won't lie about that. And I just talked about this for the first time the other night with Deb and Matthew. That was a super comfortable place to be. Just like this, I guess I'm getting a little more comfortable. Just got to start taking edibles more often, I suppose.
it's all good, bro. We know you're more comfortable on other people's podcasts, but I still love you.
Dude, I'm comfortable as hell right now. Look at me. I'm
Yeah.
chill.
So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of intrigued by this. I feel like the UFO Expo that we're going to be doing in March is going to be phenomenal. Can't wait for that. And we'll see how that goes. If that gets me going a little, I might have to go check out this Congress thing too next year. Toby too. We'll get
Cool.
we'll get an RV and head on down.
Yeah, and then you'll have to be here in July for the Roswell incident, part of the UFO festival here.
Yeah,
For sure.
I might just
I'm
have to move
definitely
to
down.
Roswell.
I'm definitely down.
Toby's. I'm moving next door to Toby. I heard there's a place
Well,
for
it's been
sale.
fun, guys.
All right, we see your hand, bro.
But no, yeah,
Um,
UFO Expo is going to be a real good time. We're actually going to have Tom Reed on the show, hopefully in the next few weeks. We will have a VIP pass to give away, and I will have some promo codes for hotels and all that. So everybody keep an eye out for that.
yeah,
Right on.
that's awesome. Yeah, we do have a bunch of great guests coming up. Um, we're gonna do some episodes like this. Maybe not like this. Hopefully more more cerebral and more
Hey,
with
what's
Shane
wrong?
at
What's wrong with
home,
this one?
Shane at home or something. Uh, but
Yes.
but yeah, no, this is fine. I think this is fun. Like you said, it's about having fun too. Like we can talk about all the intellectual aspects and philosophical underpinnings of the phenomenon, but like we can do that anytime. How often do you get to go to UFO Congress and party with people that you meet online and stuff like that? So that's awesome, man. I mean, I am jealous. A small part of me is jealous. So I hope you're happy
Where's
for yourself.
Jared?
Well, they went outside because I have to use these. We couldn't get the mics to work, so every noise is super loud.
Oh,
So
okay.
it happened anyone in here. So because I couldn't get the mics to work when we were using this, like any crunch or noise, and it's just like it sucks, but it's all right. I'm gonna meet up
It
with
was
them
the
after
eggs.
this.
Definitely the eggs.
Yeah, dude, me and Jared have been having a blast, though. I'm not gonna lie, we've been having a blast.
Eating eggs sounds awesome. Um. So what is there anything? Was this the final day or tomorrow's the final day or?
Yeah, they have some. I think they have some workshops going on tomorrow, so I'll attend those. Like I said, the experiencer group, the some of the people in there that run these, just they're really good at it. They've been doing it for a long time. They facilitate it like experts. They're kind, they're gentle. They know when to talk about these subjects. So, like for example, obviously, we've been in spaces when things get a little haywire and things like that. They're really good at kind of reining it in, but being really kind about it without setting things off to a because you get a lot of different things talked about in there. Some impressive stuff though. I'm talking make the hair stand up in the back of your neck. Uh, I don't even know how to say some of this. Just to sit and talk about things with groups of people and look in their eyes, and then when you share certain aspects of your experience or somebody does, and then lights go off for three people, and the eyes are watering, and they tell their story. It's almost identical with little things change. They don't know each other, and you can see that this isn't being made up. That this is sincere. Something's going on right in these aspects, right? And one of the things that I said I'll bring up because I think it's out there too. It's just about a common one in our type, the Easter Bunny. Well, people that look on people's faces when they about these weird experiences that involved some kind of an Easter Bunny, right? Aspect, and that was a common thing, and it's a super common thing. So John Ramirez had talked about that in the past. So pretty. I mean, this stuff here is such a wide ranging
What do you
phenomenon.
mean
That's why I'm
Easter?
always with
Like
Keel.
like like Donnie Darko bunny or like what are we talking here?
Just like a some kind of phenomenon visit, right? So again, let's remember where I stand. I'm with Keel. I'm with Jacques Vallée, Dimensions, frickin' uh, Operation Trojan Horse. So these experiences are so vastly different that things like uh, people see like the Blue Lady and things like that. There's been a common one. These are things that I didn't know about. You could probably look them up, but like the Easter Bunny whole aspect for dreams and all these different experiences with it. I didn't know these things. It took me to be like, wow, being around other people and talking to them and outside, I was like, this is amazing. I didn't know any of this. So then I started looking this stuff up and like, this is a common thing, right? So then it starts making me think again, there's so much more to this than I could think than we can begin to imagine. And it's going to take quite a few of us with little pieces of the puzzle because the experiences are so different. My experience right now is still, it's continuous. Was it here that I told you guys I saw something? Or was it in the space I was on before here? I was
I
down
think
here
it's
and I
when you
saw
were
something.
live streaming. You were live streaming on Twitter.
Okay. So I was down here and I shared my, this was so odd. I shared my experience and I was down here for the first time in person. It was cool. And then when I went outside, because Jared was here, I was excited. And he was sitting out there, it was a little dark. And I saw that pulse, a light flash from bright red, one on the other. I'm like, I just shared that day. And I'm like, what? And I look up and it did it once. And there's planes and stuff because there's an airport, but there's no other lights. You know, when a plane flashes, it doesn't flash and goes completely away and you can't see it at all. There were no clouds, nothing, because you were seeing all the aircraft behind it. It was in a spot that was way closer, and I just kind of, Jared was there. I was like, what? I said, dude, I just saw it. Do you see a plane or anything anywhere? No. I was like, that is wild. So that's different than other people's. Can't explain it. And I was talking about it in there. Then some of the other people, when I explained some of my experiences, they had little pieces of that. And by talking about them, we were just kind of like, wow, I've heard, oh, I've seen that or I've done that. So these spaces are cool. Having more podcasts with experiencers is cool. Talking about it more. Having, I guess you would say, panels somewhere where experiencers talk more. They need to have a festival that's all experiencers. Because I'm telling you right now, the more experiencers that come out, we need more scientists that are experiencers developing tools for this thing. Because yeah, there's so many things to this that we don't understand. I just can't begin to. It blows my mind. Even now, when I come here, I thought I already thought that, but no.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it begins with the mind and consciousness, and whether it's external and physical or non physical or half, who knows. But it all starts with our minds and our consciousness and our connection to the universe. So, yeah, no, that's fascinating. And, one thing I'm interested is to go through some of these cases. I think I mentioned this to you, Shane, but Operation Trojan Horse. And actually, I was messaging with Chris Wolford tonight about this because we're both from the Detroit area. There was one of the cases is from 1967 in the Detroit area where I grew up, and it was hovering over actually one of the schools where my wife went to school growing up. And supposedly there's like pictures. It was reported in the news, and actually Selfridge Air Force Base, which is the Air Force Base kind of by where we grew up. I guess they scrambled jets and stuff like that, so it was kind of like a big deal. So I want to know more about that. I don't know if anybody's listening and has more information on that. It's kind of old, obviously 1967 is a while ago, but if anybody has any information on that, I'd like to see like a picture or something. I don't know. Kind of interesting.
So I think that one of the favorite parts about Operation Trojan Horse is just the generalization of the data. It's almost like he just takes all the data for these different experiences. That's what's so impressive. It's for you to kind of make out. And I'm telling you this, I can't, I often say we're never going to figure this out. Never going to understand what this is. Even when we get disclosure, whatever we think it is as disclosure, we're not going to know what this is. We may know what it tells us it is. It's a whole
We'll
different
just be
ballgame,
making.
though.
It's just the next step. It's how science works. Like you keep figuring a few things out, and then you reclassify what it means in the bigger picture. Is it, or you change the name, or it just means something completely different. Like that's the philosophy of science. That's the idea of paradigm shifts and bottlenecks and things like that. We're going to do our job. We're always going to be this Sisyphus pushing the boulder up the mountain for the next person to take it over, like what you're saying. Like we'll never crack this during our lifetime, but I think our goal is to try, right? Is to try to push this along so like the next generation, or maybe my son's generation or his son's generation, might have some more insights that'll help humanity in some way by trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and I mean we could get to what we think is the answer for all this in our lifetime, and then later on, like you said, the future generations could find out that we were wrong. We had a small piece of the puzzle, but we didn't interpret it correctly. You know what I mean?
If the universe is infinite, then the possibilities are infinite. So you technically will never be able to, figure everything out. So
So one of the cool things about being here, guys, is the connections you get to make to do the things that I wanted to do, right? So just for example, speak about this shit. Meeting all these people, I've got to connect with other people and just say, hey, yeah, I do the same topic. But I just think there's more to it because there are people, the mental illness portion and all that. And so I think it's cool that we get to do this here too. So I appreciate your guys' help and patience this week. It's been freaking crazy.
I'm just glad you're having fun.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it was a good time. It's a super good
Yeah, I
time.
mean, for people that don't know Shane's story, we'll probably do an episode with him about it at some point. But this dude's been through a lot. I mean, literally hell and back. So, he was even nervous to go to Wounded Warrior because he hadn't been anywhere in 3 years. He was having like panic attacks and stuff like that. So, dude, enjoy yourself. We're glad you got out. Glad you had a good time at Wounded Warrior. It seems like you've actually did a lot of work because I've noticed like a shift in your demeanor. And even though you're still a little fidgety, I feel like you brought you some sort of calmness to what was going on with you. So that's good. And then, yeah, man, have fun and enjoy yourself. Like I said, you've had a rough ride so far, so it's nice to be able to just enjoy the ride a little bit. So
Agreed.
Well, is there anything else we want to get to here before we wrap it up?
No, dude, this was fun. It'd been a lot more fun if I had the equipment for the guys working, dude. But I was like, I give up. Every time silly stuff was just happening, I was like, we figured out how to do the shitty Twitter live, right? But I was like, shit, this is part vacation. I'm just gonna have fun. So
Yeah,
I'm
man.
Don't
glad you
worry.
guys
There was no
you guys
way
were
we were
patient.
getting. There's no way we were getting like a serious episode in tonight with the way you are right now. So
Don't worry,
Dude,
we'll do that during UFO Expo, Shane.
dude, yeah. Well, there's a reason we don't have anybody on. They couldn't keep up with the knowledge bomb I'd be dropping right now.
oh man. Oh man. Um no, but this was fun. I mean, like I said, I've done one of these before in the past. I think on Mind Escape I did one where this guy Alex from Natural Born Alchemist was streaming on his end from the ayahuasca festival in Spain, and he was just walking around, like showing the speakers and booths and stuff like that. It was kind of interesting. I mean, yeah, it was a little, if you get like motion sickness or something, it might have been a little off-putting, but this was cool too because you're there, you're partying, you're having fun, so I think that like I said, there's plenty of episodes in the future here for us to be serious and have serious guests and things like that, but it's also, you gotta have fun. So
Agreed.
Definitely.
all right.
Somebody you gonna pitch the merch and stuff again? Because
Why don't you
because
do it?
Roswell. All right, do me a favor, guys. Roswell Daily Record hook this up. So all you gotta do, go there, look at some merch. I got some mugs, all kinds of stuff. It's super cool. The shirts are awesome. Wounded Warrior, you can do the same and support them. I appreciate it. And all my fellow castmates look like we're in the Brady Bunch right here. I appreciate your guys' support. This has been crazy. So much fun, but so difficult because I was like, man, I'm stressing out the whole time. But you've been patient. I appreciate it. It'll get better, I promise, especially once I get home. The jet lag's gone and less edibles, I'm sure.
Dude, you look like you're in the Brady Bunch with those drapes, bro. I don't know what you're
I
talking about.
know. I told you. That's why I brought that up earlier. They sure
Um,
don't look like that.
but no, so yeah, hit the link tree in our bio. Check it out. Tons of links on there. Please follow us on all the social media apps that you use. We're trying to create fun content. It's serious, but we do a lot of jokes too. I mean, I'm a funny guy. Toby's a funny guy. Shane's a funny guy. What are we not supposed to be funny? So a little bit of humor, a little bit of seriousness, and then obviously when we have guests on the future, it'll be all serious. But click on that link tree. Get yourself some merch. Follow the Roswell Daily Record. And yeah, have fun with it. And as far as the YouTube channel goes, just please go subscribe to our YouTube channel because we're at the point now where I think we just need more subscribers so we can live stream onto there. So if you can go subscribe, that would be awesome, and we would really appreciate that. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, that's all I got for tonight, boys. So
Peace
Well,
out.
thanks for getting me fired Monday.
either that or we're gonna get a signature Roswell Daily Record brand of edibles.
I'm moving in
No,
with
thank
you,
you. This has
Shane.
been awesome. This is
All right, well, listen, We love everybody. Stay safe out there. And if you're at the UFO Congress with Shane, please really stay safe. Okay. We love everybody. Peace.
Don't let him know.